So my name is Dorothy Kozlowski. I'm a professor in the Department of Biological Sciences and the director of the neuroscience program at DePaul. My parents came from Poland literally a month before I was born. So although I was born in the U.S., my parents had recently come here to Chicago because we had family here. And I grew up here in Chicago, on the southwest side of Chicago in the city. And I really didn't speak English until I went to school. So in some ways, I kind of consider myself an immigrant, even though I was physically born here. So for me, going to college really wasn't a choice. My parents, being immigrants, knew right away that the only way that I would succeed more than they did in this country would be to go to college. And so college was always something that was in my future. So I didn't really choose to go per se. So there's multiple pieces of advice that I could give to current first-generation students. One would be to keep your family involved. I know a lot of times you think, oh, my parents don't understand what I'm doing, or my cousins, or my aunts, or my uncles. But to be honest, they do want to stay involved. So I think staying connected with your family is definitely really important. And explaining to them what it is that you're doing, what the college experience is like, etc. Because this way they can better support you. The other big piece of advice I would say would be to find your niche here at DePaul. And it doesn't necessarily mean choosing the right major. It means finding a club, finding a faculty member, finding a staff member, someone that you connect with and that you find commonalities with, joining a student organization, finding something that connects you with the university. So I had numerous influences, but I think probably the most influential was a psychology professor I had whose name was Heather Hoffman. She was a fairly new professor at the college that I went to. And when I went to college, I thought I was going to be a physician. I went in interested in science, pre-med. I thought I was going to be a doctor. But she introduced me to an area of study called biopsychology, which is now known as neuroscience. And really that field of study was something that I became really interested in. And she also allowed me to work in her research lab. And getting that opportunity to work with her one-on-one and to work in a research setting was something very novel to me. It was something that I really hadn't experienced yet, but it really changed my trajectory. So I went from thinking that I was going to become a physician to actually applying to graduate programs to do research, which then led me to where I am today, being a faculty member at DePaul. I think my most favorite experiences in college were ones where I got together with groups of friends and people that I had met. And there were ones where I got together to do some philanthropic community service work with some of the organizations I was involved with. Or there are the ones where I got to go out of state to go present some research at a scientific meeting. So it was, once again, really the idea of getting connected to something and doing something beyond the classroom that made you feel connected to the university. In college, it really is important for you to take ownership of what it is that you're learning and not rely on just being told what to do. And really what I wish I would have known more about college before I actually went was that it's okay to go above and beyond what was assigned. It's okay to go and find more about a topic that I was interested in, and it would be okay to bring this up to the teacher. I wouldn't be challenging them or telling them that they were doing something wrong, etc. And I think most faculty here at DePaul are completely open to that, right? The one thing I would encourage is, if you are a student watching these videos, is to reach out to us. I think everyone on these videos, we're doing this because we're happy to talk about our experiences. I mean, you may not know, looking at me or looking at any of the other folks on these videos, that we ourselves are first-generation students. So I do encourage you to reach out.